Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Express. Well, this is a new week and a new episode on what is becoming everyone's favorite talk show. You'll agree with me that it is encouraging, exciting, profound, real, energizing, sensible, and sensitive. This is what Express is all about, and much more. So, without any further delay, please help me welcome back to the stage the beautiful, expressive, talented, and savvy director of Express. She's called Carolyn. Carolyn, take it away.
Hello, everyone. This is Carolyn, your host for Express Talk Show, the show for you, the people. It is a new year, 2023, and it is our goal here to continue to give you hope, inspiration, motivation, and transformation. To our faithful subscribers, welcome back. What would we do without you? For those who have just stopped by today for the first time, welcome. It's so great for you to be here also. But don't forget to subscribe, like, or share so that others can benefit from the content we broadcast each week. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Mr. and Mrs. Dennis, Lloyd and Sheila. They are my parents. For Lloyd Dennis as well, Jr., Tamari Dennis, and Stacy Dennis. I am so excited to have this opportunity to talk with them today and for them to share their compelling story. I will be just elated, so just watch out. It won't be easy emotionally. My parents, Lloyd and Sheila, they live in Jamaica, and my mother worked in a hat factory in England, and later on migrated back to Jamaica, where she worked as a school teacher and a vice principal. My father, Lloyd, worked at various industrial businesses, including Vauxhall factory in England, and later as a successful businessman and farmer in Jamaica. After returning back home 9 years and after sticking to their goal of not going back home until they build their house. So after 9 years living in England, they returned back to Jamaica to their house that they built. Let us sit back as we listen to the interview. Hi, Mom and Dad. Great to see you both. Thank you for
Hello,
coming.
dear.
This is
Glad to see you as well.
Yes. Okay, so what I would like you to do for this, as you know, you're here to tell your compelling story, right? From birth upwards. So start from tell the audience, where were you born? Daddy, you could start first. And Mommy could or I'll help you both. But you start, Daddy. Where were you born?
I was born in Kingston.
Okay.
You get that?
Yes, Daddy.
I said I was born in Kingston.
Yeah, I got you. And
the 4th of April.
Yes. All right.
So
that's
born in Kingston, 1932.
Okay.
The 4th of April.
Oh, so you are 90.
I was there with my mother. Okay. No, until about my mother left me with her sister somewhere about And my father went there and stole me away. From about 2 years, about a year, 6 months so. And took me to my grandmother.
Okay.
And you see, I was left with my aunt, and my father went there and stole me away and carried me down in a truck. And I came out at Hopeton, and somebody meet me and, made a comment. And anyway, he took me to my grandmother. They call her Mama Tin. And she reared me until I was about 12 years old.
Okay.
I had a very hard time. My father didn't live at the same house.
Okay.
My father did trading to buy things like, and sell, took it to grain chill once a week from, say, Friday night to Saturday night. Yeah, and tobacco, things like that. He used to live in a little house out the road. So when I come to sense and start that I could walk up and down, and I remember I could always go over my aunt and walk. I always walk and sing and shout, and I look at myself doing that.
You were happy.
And I go over there for milk, and so in the early morning. I remember one morning in particular, my father was coming in from the road and met me going down there. Then I hug my hand around my neck, and my 2 hands around my neck, hug my neck, and pick me walk and hold my neck when it's cold. And he come up and he said to me, you keep my neck a drop off. And I remember seeing him go to a tree and break off a limb off it. And then give me some lick. The neck a drop off.
Why did he say that? Why did he beat you?
Just I would ask him the same thing.
Oh.
And anyway, I ball and gone into go and get milk and come back. But always things like those, when I do anything wrong, sometimes people outside complain to him. My grandmother don't like to complain on me, She don't like to see me get the beating. So I was rude and various things. So he lives outside, out on the main road there, and me have a cottage. And so I would go out there, carry dinner when I get, but that is after I get big, up to can manage that. I can dinner, I put it on the table, and then come and eat it. And I will get some, when I go to school, I go to New Road School, I wasn't bright. Maybe when I started, I was brighter, but afterward, I wasn't bright. I know I would get a lick from the teacher, and I would get the lick from him. And sometime when I'm going back to school and met my father coming, he would come and say, from morning you left yard, you know how nothing in yard I do. And he would give me a beating. Sometime he carry me go to school to teacher and say me have nothing I do. And at that time, you have to go to a place called Gully, go feed cow, go milk cow or feed hog and all and something. And then you say, you know how nothing I do. And then me come back up and get ready to go to school. Sometimes I sweat. And those are hard days when I was young. And then I am barefooted. When I was going to school, I would go to school and I would go to Sunday church barefooted. And never buy me a pair of shoes yet until I come up to a point where I stopped going to school from 5th class.
Could you read
And
then?
as a matter of fact, I didn't learn much. No, I have a friend by the name of Kenneth Richard. He hold me around my neck and I don't play. He don't play when we go outside for recess. Me and him just hug me up and he just, idolize me. And we was such a good friend. Nobody could go between us. Sometimes I going over my yard, run up, and he would go with me, but he not going for anything for eating. If a cane me have, I make it eating all right. But we come back and we would be when I'm playing in the yard. Very seldom, if I'm playing, he always stand by. But he don't really run. And I remember going whenever he's writing, I copy from him and write in my book.
Okay.
Everything I copy from him, I write in my book. So when the teacher come and he always just correct them and go. But he never said anything about copying. But not me alone copy from him because he was very bright. He was Adventist. Was very bright, Kenneth Richard.
And he was a doctor, right? He ended up being a doctor.
We don't reach there yet, in the school yet.
Okay. Go ahead.
I remember we one instant I was there's a guy by the name I forget his name, but he was great, the gray my boy, and they have a spot on his face. And that time the war was on or something like that. And they always called himself a German. And I think I stone up over in her head one day and said, me I bomb you for your German. And the stone bust in your head. And you want to see blood just spilled out her head.
Oh no.
From that, and those things like those I was taking for nothing and they make me feel beat when I run over cottage up the hill. Anyway, from there I go until my father took me away from my grandmother when he bought this piece of land and took me over there with him. And I tell you, man, he'll give me a hard time. I have no pleasure. And the ground, we have a ball ground down at the flat there, and they would play, but the only time I can go there and play anything is like him not around and in the evening when it's late. But there was a lot of people around young, and sometimes they would complain to me. They would complain to him, tell him what me do. And me don't know why and think me get beaten sometimes, I don't know what me do. Especially one day because Miss Aunt Lil. Sometimes and complain to him and I get beaten and I don't know what I've done. But anyway, that's her going. Time I see him coming, I'm always shaking, trembling because I sure say, once me walk against him, he'll grab me. And, we went through that kind of life for a very long time until he have another son and he took him there. And same way beat him. He beat him too. And then did up himself and all and something when he hold him. Anyway, one in cut up short. One morning he told me, he said, he grabbed me out, take me out my bed. At the time coming out of bed now, naked bottom. And he have a saddle lead around that room and then take it down and then take off the stirrup leather off of it and say, he said this one beat hot. And then take out the stirrup and hit him, beat me.
Wow.
And I saw him do it. And one next time now, me go gully, go look for a cow and hog. And come up and with him, me come up and grab me. And he said, I tell me, say, after today, if you not change, well, change again. So in tie me hand, 2 hand and type on the veranda. And so I'm going to wash my face. I'll give you one now. And when I wash my face, I go and give you another. And after I go milk cow and come back and go and give you another. And I go and see if you don't change. And when me riding beat me and left me now gone washing face, I lose the rope off of my hand. And I run away. I go away.
Oh, Lord.
And I was out living nearby out on the road, nearby to the road school, go and come, sleep around yard and call Lulu yard, Robinson. And I would be around just like that until I went over cottage and stayed with my auntie. And, you know, they have plenty children.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, and because my nickname and all and something, but, you know, anyway, they just are gone. And when my auntie husband have I think a relative down in the district that keep a shop, and he's a district constable, and he tell me say he can get a job for me, and he get a job for me to work. And when I was there, I never happy, and I leave it, and I come up back. I walk from far, you know, walk there and come back up, and I sleep at different places there. And one night I didn't have gone away go sleep. I was on the street and the police then walking on the road and with flashlight. And I dodged under a bunch of peers that they were police, where the Chinese them sell things, put out things and said. Anyway, that's how I go. I go back to cottage. And Mr. Campbell again, the same district constable, tell me saying get a job for one man in Petersfield. And the policeman named Sergeant Chisholm.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working with some people down there in a shop with Sergeant, working with Sergeant. And I was down there working. I just skipping, you know, and the car can't go to everything.
Yes.
And while I was there working,
move closer to mommy. We want to see your face. Move a little closer to mom. Right.
That time I was going on maybe about 16 or so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
17, so about there. And I was working and I was quite happy down there. Because my father passed there every Saturday morning, go to Grangehill with a truck and into a truck. And Mr. Gallant. He knows me did that work. So one Saturday morning, stop and he tell me, say, see my mother Kingston. Lord have mercy, the best news I ever get. And me reach that age and me no know my mother there. There's a game out of me, say me drop from cloud. You know, I know mother. The cousin them. Anyway, the people then tell me, say, if you go and know my mother and come back. But me know, no auntie, so me want to go with my mother there. So my father, when he coming up Saturday night, he pick me up to carry up, you know. And then Monday, he would go to Kingston. He would go to Kingston Sunday night for me, where me could meet my mother at Oxford Street. So me come here, me sleep. In the morning, we get up and we go in the truck and go and take up people and carry to Kingston. And I went and met my mother. Ah, boy. From the very moment she see me, she start quarrel.
Oh, Lord.
Him from along. And the first thing I teeth me way. And I first him must see me again. And I go home and come go and yard where I want to rent room where I live in. And I tell you, a pure correlation to Japan. And what she do me the first time, I was standing on the street at a shop. But those days, you didn't have electricity like now. I was standing at a shop and listening Joe Louis fighting. And you know, my mother come out from out her house and come out with one thing in her hand like a went by Krishna and 4-corner pan with a gallon pan. And because I stand up out there listening to the boxing, she mash up the pan on my head.
Whoa.
Mash up the pan on my head. Remember, I'm in the village 2 weeks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And go on to tell me, turn me out of the house. Turn me out of the house. First of all, my grandmother sent one basket with some food and things for me. And I stand on the veranda and was talking about Mama. She was inside tidying herself, sitting over the pan and tidying herself. And call me. And then hear me start oh Mama, she get up out of, from out of the, over the pan and then take the water away my use out of himself and then fling it right in my face. And I bear it anyway. I go on until I stay over the other side of Mrs. Walters with one chair where, you know, can sit down in an easy chair. I sleep in there. I sit down there and sleep in there at night until somebody get me a job up 4th Avenue, Kingston, up on Mountain View Garden with a gentleman named Mr. Purchase. And I was working as yard boy and look after the house. Sometimes when them boy pass a morning time and see me I clean the floor, then get up off the floor, boy. So anytime I see them, I come really done and dodge them. And I always get on the, you know, when them going to work, one old lady was there, she work at JPS, and them work at bank or something. So then everything was under my control when I'm not there. And number one, in the garage, I sleep. Right on bed right in front of the car. When the car come in, then you make me sleep on it, and then you lock the door, the car door, and the only time I can't come out now if anything, me come through one window. I was there and dining table near to the garage, you know, where you can see in there and everything. And I carry on until I was there for quite a while and getting on good until me leave there. I went to Crossroads and I think there was one road lead on to Tree. I didn't stay there no time. Near Panjip, it was near on to RJR. I had to cook and do everything what they want to do until I leave there. I went to Maypen. She have a one named Eli Brown. Live at Maypen, right in front of a shop. It's a shop, one factory there. I think it was fruit factory. And the house, Mr. Brown was right at the line at the gate. And him have sell all ice cream and all that. So one day I went there and introduced myself to them. And they said, boy, your mother, if you in so much tiny stock a shop and put Edna on him, mash you up. And said, boy, if you come in, you can't roll everybody there for left yard. Anyway, me go back to the ice factory and me work in the ice factory. And me sleep over the board in the ice factory. Me have no room now where to sleep. Me sleep over there and work at the time. Sometimes I go with my ice truck. But, you know, go on until me decide to come back home because it did rough. And me call me right my father and tell me, say, begin me take me back. And say, all right. He said, I'm a change man now. I'm an Adventist. So you can't come. And so me come down. But me come with the intention that really me just really scrape and go. And me come now and start invite 2 suits to me. 2 shirts and 2 trousers.
That was nice.
And I start follow them go to church. And me tell you say, one morning, me go down a Gross Gully, go look after a cow, and come back. And when me come back up, he send me say, he must send me down a crossroad, a new road. I want a man named Metty. And me go put on, because me did sweat up and wet up. And me go put on one leather suit. And he wrote me like a dog. Take you off. Go take coffee. You know by Mr. Master Edgar Creera did stand up in a yard and him attack. And Master Edgar said, not treat the man so man. Not treat the young man so. Up to now, I want to come out of my eye. Not treat the young man so. And you go gone down, they go tell him a message when his father sent, etc., etc. Go on until they go church. Go church and I tell him to go through a hard time with him until you have one place on a bag, and we have to ride donkey and all that, go around there, go through Hopeton and go a bag, go work and that of things. So one day, no, one Sabbath, one pastor come and preach on the new birth. And he start to make an appeal. Me first get up there. And I remember it now. I make up my mind and I accept the message. And I was in Bible class for about 3 months, from August to from April, May until August. I think I was the 12th of August, I baptized. I was in a Sabbath school, was in Bible class, 1951. And after I leave 1951, and I was going on one Sabbath, I come from church, and this gentleman, this Mr. Camry, my shoemaker, out at Clargate, he called me, come here, man. He said, Mr. Sister, you got church with them. I mean, really see a change in you. Keep it up. Never forget it. So keep it up. I see a change in you. Anyway, I come up and, it was really rough. I mean, I want to have a place out of bag and me go work. And one day I was riding the donkey, coming from Bag, coming to New Road to come to home. And Mr. Jim Richard was standing on the veranda. I look at him, no way, hold the veranda top and stand. And he see me coming. He said, Brother Dennis, sir, he said, would you like to go to America? And the contract, I said, yes, Brother Jim. He said, I get one name, and I send it up. And I said, thank you, sir. And I carry on, and I wait 1 year and 9 months. And one night, I was in the house, reading One Step to Christ. And here, somebody called me, Gardner Bertie, say, one card down your market for you. And when I get the card, I got everybody off of me £10, 10,000 for it. If £10 for it. I got Kingston for me, I got everybody off of me £10 for it. They say you're not going to pass because one man in Tyler come from America, a white man, and him a pass take the test and say you're not going to pass, man. Give you 10,000 for it. £10. And me refuse. They say I got started one man and him a finish it. And when me go the morning, the test, when you see Tyler, I'm going to send them about 25 men after one another. In this show them out. And me's no rankers to them. But when they go preliminary, in look down upon me and step back. I say, how old are you? I say, 21, sir. He say, you're pretty young, but I give you a chance. Then come on, you're that big as a football, You're that big as a football, me kick. One crowd, one something up there, you demand them best to say pass me. Got to test me, pass me. When me come up now, after test, put on back my clothes. That I certain bad naked, you don't go, I have my doctor, I have to check you on your naked same way. And then me come and put on my clothes and come out. Come to check with you. Say, and come to the point and say, when in America, you have to work every day. God send his sun to shine every day and you have to work. And there are some there don't want to work. About Saturday, Sabbath. If you can step out right now if you want. The time I say nothing, me just keep quiet. When everything done, the boy, everybody then me say me deny me Christ. I don't say nothing. God, Mary, come on. I mean, work at the time. We got Sabbath day. When gentleman come to church, come to camp and pick me up and carry our church. And we work here till about half of the time I was there. And then transfer it to Wisconsin. And we got Wisconsin now. And they test themselves, listen. God send his sun to shine every day. You have to work every day. At time, I must send them a canteen to get their food. And me did it. So when they put up my hand and tell me, say me Adventist, then say me to stand by. And then put me to stand up on the door and me stand up there. And all of them go in at the canteen, now go eat. Go eat and food.
Mm-hmm.
And after then go on a camp, because the camp where they sleep. And when one little short white man come by, name is Weeks. He said, "What you doing here?" And me tell him, and he said, "Oh, they forget you." So he carry me and give me something to eat. And me go back down a camp. And me decide to fast and pray. Sabbath coming up, man. Sabbath coming up, me fast and pray that me take on the high bed. We up.
Bunk.
And me say, 4 o'clock in the morning, everybody gone to work. Me decides, me nah go. And me tell you something, girl. By the time them feet done, wash shower rain come down, you see, every man have to get up, come back to the camp. Then it's your prayer answer. And one or two Adventists about Smile Island was working on the Sabbath. And I grown to them, work them. And it's from that every Sabbath. Sometimes if you don't want to go work, you can go. If you don't want, if you want to go, you go. So nobody no worry me from that. And I work until me do 6 months in all over there. And the first thing me buy was 6 white shirt. And me buy me clothes and come home. Me buy 1 bull calf. I think nine pound in paper. And me couldn't keep it over here. Old man saying no, if you keep it. So me have it tie over them brown place next door to me. Go on, so their life went on that way until we have some changes and get married.
No, we don't. Okay, all right.
Wow.
Okay, so I need you. So let's stop there now. So you went to United States and you went back to Jamaica, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then how did you?
Yes,
meet
I went back to Jamaica.
Yes, I want you to tell us when you first saw Mom, and then after that, Mommy will talk about her life up to when she met you.
No, but I'm saying what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
And I have a lot of young people in the church that really, fancy me, and a few of them and we get on well. I never tell you any of them. So I was there once and I decided, say, I want to do colporting. I was down stopping at middle quarters with a lady and at our home. We're doing colporting. I was doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to Colporters Institute, I chose to go to Southfield.
Okay.
And so I went to Southfield, and the canvas I was stopping with a lady and the people around them never like it. They never like, say, the Adventists gone and they are gonna live. And I left. I left to another place. And from there I moved to another place. And I was over there. But I go to Bellevue Church.
Mm-hmm.
where
That's Southfield, yeah.
whole heap of young people there. And then good looking and nice, you know. And I on Sabbath I was in church. I let this just a cut it short, you know. I was in
Yeah,
church one Sabbath, sitting on the front bench. Listen to me, on the front bench. And it's like a voice said to me, see your wife there. Never forget it. And I start to ask questions like about this young lady, because I know she me hide upon. I hide upon one name called Violet. And somehow God had chosen me. And I asked the elder, the leader, Mr. Reed, and I asked this, and every one of them speak about her. She have one auntie named Miss Sister and Rose. And I asked her about her. She said, she no want no man. And one Sabbath me coming from church now, we used to go down after our yard. So it can't have any like for and bammy for lunch. So it's like one man say, tell her, ask her, fashion and nothing about it. I call her. I say, Miss P. Oh no, I say, P, come here. How you know say me a P? I say, yeah, P. She say, yes. She named Sheila Pearl. Anyhow, me ask her French, friend with me, and she agree. After I met her, I went to the parents
Daddy.
and asked them permission.
Okay.
After I asked them, they said they agree. They agree for it.
Okay.
But one day our mother leave. I don't know if she had got Kingston away, but she was there for about a week. And when she come back, she passed me down at the road and was going and she hold her head straight and never say, hold it to me. And I say, what?
That's grandma.
That's our mother.
Yeah.
And the next it said to her, she have to mash it up because she's too young.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
the
grandma said,
I send her a letter. Wait a man, I send her a letter. And I said, tell them, say, the only way you can mash up and let them say anyway because your sister and her brother are in England. Tell them, say, if you borrow the money, send you to England and tell them, say, you work and send back the money from here. And she sent the note to give them. She gave them the same way. And then send her, get the money from the bank and send her away. And me ask the same church leader, Mr. Reed, but they know the whole story. And he give me a letter. He give me a letter to the bank. Listen, he give me a letter to the post office. To the we have to get the okay to go to Spanish.
Hi, Mom.
No, that's fine. Hi.
Yes. So tell
I
us.
don't have
Huh?
I don't have a long story, darling. Only that I grew up with my mom, and she was a Christian, a Seventh-day Adventist Christian, and I was very much involved in the church.
But you had your father was there too, right?
Pardon?
Yes.
Your daddy.
Pardon?
Was there as well. Your dad. Grandpa.
Yes, he was there, but my mother was a strong. Yes. So I grew up like that, and very principled.
How many of you?
I didn't make any joke at all.
How many
8 of us.
Okay, siblings. Okay. All right.
Yes. And I was the fourth.
Okay.
But I went to live in Sav for a little while.
Sav.
In Dunderhill, Full Savannah. But I didn't stay there for long.
Okay.
And then I went to school, But when they used to do the Jamaica local exam, I did it. You know, it's 13 subjects you have to do.
Right.
And I didn't really get through. And I was so disappointed. But the
Okay.
point about it is I still had in mind that I would go forward. But, you know, parents cannot help you much. And
Mhm.
then I don't remember much about my life, you know. They always say when you teach for so many years, you will
Mhm.
get forgetful. But
Okay.
I thank God the way I was brought up. But I didn't run around. So when he told you that he saw me, I didn't have anything on my mind about that
Okay.
because I had many friends there that he was friendly with and all that. So, you know, when he made put the question to me, I accepted anyway, you know.
Yes.
And I, as he told you, what he said, they agreed. But afterwards,
Grandma and
don't know what
grandpa
was in their
agreed.
mind. And
Mm.
they changed, pardon?
Um.
Changed their mind, and he told you that what to tell them, and I went away to England. I wasn't
Okay.
married then, you know.
Mm-mm.
And then
So
I lived in
tell us,
England for a while.
mommy, before you go that far, let's
And my,
stop and talk about the whole process.
pardon?
Let's talk about the whole process. So, and Dad said a little bit about it before. So, Dad, Grandma said to Daddy that that's your mommy, that you know. Anyway, they accepted you, but it seems like they changed their mind after a while. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
And you said, I'm just repeating so that the audience
Yeah.
can get a clear picture of what was said. And then you said to Mommy, okay, the only way you will stop pursuing Mom is if they send her away to England, right? And they decided
Yes.
to do so. So apparently you were at church, and Mom got up in church and told them that she's leaving to go to England, right? And then
Yes.
what was the plan really between you and Dad?
Well, just that I would go away to England and then he would come up. He was planning to come on the same plane with me, but his papers didn't come through in time.
Okay,
So
but
he
they
got up.
didn't know that you had that in mind.
No. But then
Okay.
when I was about to go the Sabbath now, he stood up in church and tell them that he should have been on the same plane. And
So
they never said
really,
anything.
you were eloping then. That's the word to call it. You both eloped.
Yeah.
All right, so you went to England. Tell us a little bit about that now. Both of you in a strange country. You both have each other.
No, you got your auntie or your sister.
When did I
She
go
went to her sister. Went to her sister.
Okay, when you went to England.
We went to England. She went to her sister.
Yeah.
Remember, you have a brother and a sister over there. The sister is married, and I went over. I went over and stopped with Ivan. You remember Ivan Spencer?
Your friend, yeah.
I stopped with him for a while because the room that I was in very small, and I leave from that room to a next room with 8 of us in one room.
Wow.
And until I have to move. After I left there, I got a white lady house. A couple, old people then.
Was that sister only? Was that sister only?
No, man, that's sister only. It's just a friend of the family.
Family, okay.
You know. And I was there until I moved to a lady they rent me the little room upstairs. That it was much closer to where P lived. And from there I went over and do a next cliff. Because I didn't like the yard. When you go, me go give me sandwich, and when me go work and take up the sandwich, it's a pussy. So it's a pussy here upon it. So anyway, we go up a cliff, and we stay till we plan with marriage.
Okay, so you
And
planned the
we
marriage.
married, yes, we planned to marry. I think it was 8th of September, somewhere about there. And the 30th of September. So it is of September. That was
Okay.
8 months. 8 months. That was 8 months in married courtship.
Courtship.
Married,
Okay.
and everybody treated us like king. Very good.
King and
Church
queen.
brethren take care of the
wedding.
The rain. We're getting rain here now.
Okay, okay.
And then we get her to come over to live with me over Mr. Cliff house. So that's where it goes.
Okay. So then, okay. So you got married.
Anyhow.
Yes, and I was there for 10 months, 10 years in all.
One moment, Daddy. Mommy, move over.
When I came back,
hardly see you. Okay, that's better.
I said when I came back from England, he is a man like this. He like to encourage you to do, go forward. And so I took the exam for Monique, for the entrance exam, and I passed it. And that's how I landed at Monique College,
Teachers College.
And I was I was there, and we were the
head girl.
The governor general. I was head girl, and the governor general was head boy.
That is now.
Okay.
So
who's governor general now?
Yes, and he's still governor general now.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about that. I can say a little bit about that. When you were at Monique, I remember Daddy sometimes used to comb my hair. The helper we had at the time, the person who would, help would have done it too. And I remember that each time we went to college, when you would come back home, that we would drive this long distance. We couldn't wait to see you. We couldn't wait to see you. How long you stayed there again? 4 years? It was a 4 year? 4 years?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
2 years.
2 years, yeah. And then when you returned, you started to work as a teacher.
Yes.
Yes. And Daddy was still, yeah. How long you worked at New Roads School?
33 years.
Okay, good. Awesome. Great. So
and I have a poultry farm.
And you had your farm.
And I set up a poultry farm.
Yes.
Poultry farm and cow.
And chickens, right?
Right. She's going to sing your song.
Someday I'm gonna write the story of my life. I'll tell about the time we met and how I can't forget the way you smiled at me. I'd like the world to know the story of my life, the moment when your lips met mine, and that first exciting time I held you close to me. Sorrow and my love was breaking off, a memory of a broken heart, and later on the joy of making up, never more to part. I'd like the world to know the story of my life. I'll tell about the time we met and how my heart can't forget the way you smile at me.
Oh, this is so good.
That's the story of my life.
I'm telling you, I love you both.
And we're going
love you both, and I just
July coming will be 60. July coming will be 65 years since we married.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's like yesterday.
Oh, mercy. You get me crying here.
We have never had a quarrel. We have never been to a place where we slept apart, and we just get on because I love him just like I did the first day I saw him.
Oh,
You grow, man.
It grow,
This
yes, it grow. It grow.
this
The
is,
love has grown.
of course, of course, of course. Thank you so much for sharing. So now that you've both retired,
And my first daughter, my first child was born the 4th of April on my birthday. And could you guess me who?
me.
Was Carlin. Carlin.
And my son was born 4 days after my birthday.
Yes, that's Lloyd. Lloyd. Oh,
Yes.
mercy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And then we have Tamari, who is right there.
I remember
Thank you, Tamari.
I was lying down beside me. I remember she was lying down beside me while she was pregnant, and Inga Moore Hansen was fighting, and she was kicking me. She was kicking me inside her mother's belly.
Oh boy. So
That's
tell me a
the
little bit
Carlin.
about when I was born.
Carlin.
Huh? Tell me a little bit about
Eh?
when you first saw me when I was born. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I had to say how when I first saw you. I know I was with her in labor, in the room of where she was labor. And when you were to come out now, ready to come out, they take her upstairs. And I wait there until they bring the baby and show me.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
At Luton.
Luton Dunstable Hospital, yeah, in England. Yeah. Oh boy, I tell you.
At Luton Maternity Hospital.
Yeah. So now that you're 90 and mommy's 86,
Right.
tell me,
85.
85. Okay, 85. Now,
April coming, I'll be 90. April coming, I'll be 91.
91, yes. What advice now? Listen, mom and dad, just pretend there's someone who may be as old as you are, or maybe just thinking about getting married. What advice would you give them for having
Make sure you love each other. Make sure you love each other.
marriage? Huh?
Make sure they love each other. Make sure they love each other.
Yeah, before they start.
Genuinely.
Mm-hmm. What are the things that you think kept you together?
Huh?
What would you tell someone is listening and wants to know? Someone is listening somewhere, wants to know what has kept your marriage together so long and being so sweet to each other, living still to each other.
Love.
Yes, but
genuine love.
Yes, but give us some example. Mommy already said we never slept away from each other.
We have nothing to give but love. Love.
Okay.
The point about it is, if he's not here for a hour or so, I am so concerned. Hope he's okay. You know, I think about him all the time, and whatever I can do to make him happy, I do it.
Yes. That's good. That's something like that I'm listening out for. What about you, Daddy? If you used to go away from, or mom used to leave for vacation, you used to try to, when she comes back, that she gets something, she sees something new, like you always try to maybe, the room or the kitchen, you change it up, or so that she has something.
The room.
Uh-huh.
Like the room, like the room,
Yeah.
that the room that you're in. She always
Uh-huh.
saw the room small. And when she come back one week, one time when she come back, she find a different room, change it, make it bigger. And up to
Yeah.
times the biggest room in the house.
Yes. So that's what I mean. You sort of think of each other. You heard her that she really the room was small and you made an effort to make it bigger for her so that when she came back she would, and those are the things that help you to express your love for each other. And I have seen the both of you, of course. Now from day one, you all haven't changed. You all used to play with each other. Oh boy, I'm telling you. And mommy, the way you look after dad, even until this moment, the way you prepare his food, you put it together, it's never changed. It's like you catering to this king, my
No,
dad. And I really
that's
admire
right.
that about you.
That,
Admire that about you. That even now, for my husband, I try to do the same thing for him, you know. Um, Anything else to say before we end this conversation, which has been awesome?
well,
Tell me
I
about
just
God.
want to let him know.
How does God fit into your life?
Pardon?
How does God fit into the relationship?
What is that?
How does God fit into
Well,
your
that's the
relationship?
bottom line.
Okay.
That is the bottom line, you know, because both of us, we respect one each other, but God comes first. And sometimes if we find ourselves in any problem, you know, and we pray, to God answer our prayer. And we are here now, and believe you me, no one can ever say, please give me what you owe me. No one can ever say. Thank God it has done for us far more. And my husband is a very liberal person. And when
Yeah.
he sees people in distress, he always helps them. And let me tell you something, we get double portion of that.
Several
We
times.
do not do it for show. We do not do it to get anything, but God provides all the time.
Correct.
Yes. Yes. Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. I've seen that in your lives. And I
Yes.
am so glad that I'm your child, one of your daughters. I am really, really happy that I've been able to experience the both of you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with us today. This has been a dream come true. And thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Mommy, for being so corporate. I know this had taken a little from your time.
You're welcome.
So, but we want to let you know that someone listening today, they won't be the same. No, to hear your story. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, I am so sorry. I got too emotional. I knew it. I would get emotional, but you understand. It was such a pleasure to interview my mom and my dad today. I trust you were blessed. I trust you were blessed. There's something I need to say though. Did you know that all my parents, my grandparents, that's my parents' parents, even though they had such a difficult time, at the last stage of their life, they spent it at our home. They spent it at our home, and we really had a great relationship, despite of how hard it all started out. So I normally leave a thought before I close the show each episode. And I just thought this one would be a good one. It talks about forgiveness. And it is said that there is no love without forgiveness, and there is no forgiveness without love. End of quote. That's powerful. So, for those who are out there who maybe have some hard times with your parents, for whatever reason, make it end well. Because there is no love without forgiveness, and there is no forgiveness without love. See you then, until another time. Bye-bye.